DC Films unveils superhero movie release plan, including 6 titles per year. So, basically, this is an article from ew.com. That's Entertainment Weekly. Yeah. So DC is got this plan, and Walter Amato talked to the New York Times. So this is actually a New York Times story. Okay. But anyway, that they're going to release these movies, and also kind of not hidden, but it's in here in the mix, is that they're going to go back to the theater strategy. So, I mean, as of now, I guess that's the plan, but we'll see how this year, 2021, unfolds. Will there be a theater model that's, functional after all this lockdown mess? And how many will survive to make that viable? Still don't really know that. And that's why, I mean, everybody was slamming Warner Brothers, even Patty Jenkins, after they gave her. I liked Patty, but I didn't like Wonder Woman 2, 84. It's I'll have to do another video on that to go into detail, but it's pretty bad. And already announced the sequel, yeah, Patty. So apparently that's full steam ahead. But with this, she was saying she wouldn't do it if there's no theater model. Well, it looks like there's going to be one, provided there are theaters. If there aren't any theaters, what do you do? Oh, no. But anyway, the plan apparently is the most expensive movies will still be the theatrical ones. And the cheaper ones, they'll be on HBO Max. So there is this plan already of having spinoffs of these films. The Suicide Squad's going to have a Peacemaker spinoff, which I actually am kind of excited about. It looks like it might be pretty cool. Hopefully it is, and they'll have that on HBO Max. And then the Batman film, they already announced there's going to be this sort of Gotham Central type story, like the comic book series, where it's all about the Gotham Police Department. And whether there's another show, Batman show with no Batman, which is, so far, I don't know that that's such a great idea. But well, there it is. So, and that's very similar to what Marvel is already underway with D+. You've got your Marvel shows coming with, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki. So they're going to be doing these spinoffs from their MCU. Meanwhile, DC is embracing their multiverse aspect so they can pursue these alternatives to it. And the article goes into, well, that could be a problem because it's too many different versions and people just are getting too confused and just drop it and don't want to get into it. Well, this is clearly a strategy of throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. So what else are you gonna do? And they're in this mess by how they interfered with their movies so much at the 11th hour changes and whatnot, and may end up with a disaster like Justice League. So where now the only fan excitement was with Snyder Cut, so they're banking everything on that, really, probably to the detriment of Snyder Cut's performance, whether it's good or not. Even if it's just good, it might not get the numbers they really need, and then that'll hurt it when it's kind of unfair. But nevertheless, that's where they are, and it's just they couldn't drop it entirely and scrap it and start over because you had successes. You had Wonder Woman, the first one, and then Aquaman, and so they well, you can't just abolish everything. So here comes The Flash, which is going to expand more on the multiverse idea, which for the longest time was a part of the DC Comics storyline for their superheroes and whatnot. They tried to get rid of it in the late 80s, but that didn't quite stick. So it opens up other possibilities of different versions of these characters and that sort of thing. But after a while, a brand name is important. So this business of cameos of Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton being in there, that's okay, although there's stories that Michael Keaton would get a sort of Batman Beyond movie and that sort of thing. And hopefully Ben Affleck gets a Batman series is what I'm hoping for. Meanwhile, you got the Robert Pattinson thing, which was already put in place and off to the races when all of this changed, with AT&T coming in. And I gotta say, from most of what I've seen of the Pattinson Batman, I like the car, and that's about it. I'm not sure that's gonna be all that great. It might be. The cool idea of giving him a mystery to solve is something they should have done a long time ago for a Batman film. So it's got that going for it. But boy, I wish it were Ben Affleck. So anyway. But they can do it. They can have, and then that seemed to be the idea. If they would go forward with that the Pattinson would be the theatrical version, and Ben Affleck's Batman series could be an HBO Max miniseries. Pretty much what they've turned Snyder Cut into, and that could work. But it does risk the damage, as it could get pretty messy, and you don't know what to do. Meanwhile, Marvel has kept a pretty tight plan and mapping out their thing, yet they're going into the multiverse, because Loki's will be about that. WandaVision will be about it. And, of course, Doctor Strange is going to be the ultimate payoff of this. They've already announced that Spider-Man 3 will be involved in this sort of thing, and there'll be possibly, there's rumors of the previous Spider-Man actors coming in and having cameos and involvements in it. All of that stuff. Something's going on there. So they're both racing to the multiverse, even though initially DC Comics was the ones that really introduced that with the Flash of Two Worlds story way back when, just to explain why their characters looked a little different than they looked in the 40s by the time they got to the late 50s and early 60s. So the thing about a plan that's just throw everything at the wall and see if it sticks is sometimes stuff sticks. So a lot of these things might just fail. Hopefully it's not too costly for them, and whatever sticks could become very probably Batman, either the Affleck Batman or the Pattinson Batman or something Batman, as long as Batman himself is in it. I don't think the Gotham series could be a cool little crime drama thing, which is kind of what I wish the original Gotham was. It started out kind of that way, and then it just became this crazy mess that some people liked. It had a decent following, so, but I don't know. You can't just copy that again. So I'm guessing it would just be this, Gotham-centered crime drama, which could work, even though Batman is mostly not in it. I suppose they could have cameos of him in it and be a surprise. Ooh, he's there, but mostly it would probably be maybe like a silhouetted Batman figure moving around in the background. They never actually talk to him. But what have you, but a crime drama with good writers and a cast and all that could work. So some of these things could pay off, and there could be a few surprises of characters that got a series or a film that you didn't expect, and all that. The Flash movie is the one that's supposed to introduce this and fix it all. It's like, is it a Flash movie? It sounds like it's quite the ensemble, Maybe the sequel, he actually gets a Flash movie that's about the Flash, fighting Captain Cold or something. But anyway, it is a mess of their own doing. They put them in there, and they were kind of stuck. If they could have just scrapped everything and started over, maybe that would have been better, but they really couldn't, because again, they had a few successes in the middle of their failures. So that's where they are. So 6 films, because that's 6 are titles, I guess. So maybe there's like a couple of films. I think they do mention like they want 4 films a year, and then the other 2 would be like series on HBO Max and that sort of thing. But also the deal that they do plan to go back to the theatrical release, meaning these films would be in theaters first, probably for a lesser amount of time before they're released on HBO Max than they used to, but nevertheless exclusively would be on movie screens for a certain amount of time before they're released on HBO Max. So there's that. So that's the plan as of now, but who knows what lies ahead in 2021. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.